When managing a patient with measles, the nursing care plan becomes the backbone of safe, structured, and life-saving care. This is not just about treating symptoms. It is about controlling a highly infectious disease, preventing complications, and protecting the community. The entire nursing process must be followed step by step because measles progresses quickly and can become severe if not managed correctly. The first and most important step is assessment. The patient often presents with high-grade fever, persistent cough, runny nose, and red, watery eyes. These early respiratory symptoms are followed by the appearance of Koplik spots inside the mouth, which are considered a classic diagnostic feature. As the disease progresses, a red maculopapular rash appears on the face and spreads downward across the body. Nurses must carefully observe the pattern of rash spread because it helps confirm diagnosis. Vital signs usually show fever, increased pulse due to systemic infection, increased respiratory rate due to respiratory involvement, and sometimes reduced oxygen saturation if complications like pneumonia begin to develop. After assessment comes nursing diagnosis, which is the critical thinking phase. The most common diagnosis is hyperthermia related to viral infection. Along with this, there is risk for fluid volume deficit due to fever and poor oral intake, and risk for infection transmission because measles spreads easily through airborne droplets. In some severe cases, impaired gas exchange may also be added if respiratory complications develop. Once the diagnosis is clear, the next step is goal setting. Short-term goals focus on immediate stabilization. The priority is to reduce fever, improve hydration, and stabilize vital signs within the first 24 to 48 hours. Long-term goals focus on full recovery without complications such as pneumonia, encephalitis, or severe dehydration. Another important long-term goal is preventing disease transmission to others through proper isolation and education. Now comes the most active and important part: nursing interventions. The first priority is infection control. Strict airborne isolation precautions must be implemented immediately because measles is highly contagious, even before diagnosis is confirmed. This protects other patients, healthcare workers, and family members from exposure. Next is monitoring. Nurses must continuously assess vital signs including temperature, pulse, respiratory rate, and oxygen saturation. Any sudden change may indicate complications. Early detection is key in preventing deterioration. Fever management is essential. Antipyretic medications such as paracetamol are administered as prescribed to reduce fever and improve patient comfort. Physical cooling methods like tepid sponging may also be used. Along with this, hydration must be maintained because fever increases fluid loss and children are especially prone to dehydration. Nutrition support is another key intervention. Patients often refuse food due to illness, so nurses must encourage small, frequent fluid intake and monitor intake output carefully. If needed, 4 fluids may be administered. Eye care is important because conjunctivitis causes irritation and discomfort. Gentle cleaning of the eyes helps reduce symptoms. Skin care is also essential to prevent itching and secondary infection from scratching the rash. Maintaining clean bedding and a comfortable environment supports recovery. Patient and family education is a major nursing responsibility. Caregivers must be taught about the importance of isolation, hand hygiene, and vaccination. A key nursing reminder is that prevention is stronger than treatment, especially in measles, where vaccination can completely prevent the disease. In special situations such as immunocompromised patients, measles may present without the typical rash because the immune response is weak. However, these patients are at higher risk of severe complications. Malnourished children also require extra care because their immunity is already compromised. These higher-risk groups need closer monitoring and more aggressive supportive care. Finally comes evaluation. In short-term evaluation, successful care is indicated by reduced fever, improved hydration, and stable vital signs within the first couple of days. The patient becomes more comfortable and less irritable. In long-term evaluation, full recovery without complications confirms that nursing interventions were effective. No secondary infections should occur, and disease transmission should be prevented through proper isolation and education. When you put all of this together, the nursing care plan becomes more than just a document. It becomes a structured clinical guide that ensures patient safety, promotes recovery, and prevents outbreaks. Mastering this approach is what transforms a student into a confident, clinically competent nurse.